we all have those times where we're, at our peak, and when we're not at our peak, and we just help each other any way that we can get through the ride. I grew up in the South Hills of Pittsburgh and Pleasant Hills in Bethel Park. I went to St. Francis Academy for high school. I went to Chatham for my undergrad. I went to Pitt for my master's and Robert Morris for my doctorate. I have spina bifida. It basically means I was born with a hole at the bottom of my spine, so I don't have any movement below my knees. I walked with crutches for a really long time, up until I was about 42. I knew what the research said. I knew that long-term walking was going to tear up my shoulders. The wheelchair was going to be easier that way. I didn't realize that I had the bias within myself, I guess, right? I didn't realize that I was fighting the stigma that everybody says there is. I noticed my mobility had really had this decline. I kind of knew that I needed to transition to the wheelchair, but I wanted to see how much of this was really within my control. So I decided that I was going to ride the marathon on my hand cycle. At the end of the race, I had a really good time, and everybody started saying that if I competed nationally for the women, that I would really rank high. I signed up for the New York Marathon and I was accepted, and I came in second place for women out of 17. So I kept going, and then I went to Miami, and it was the same thing. I went to LA and Boston. Riding your hand cycle through Boston and LA and Miami with 0 cars and all the people cheering for you, it was amazing. The wheelchair really opens you up to so many things. A lot of people see it as something that's confining, but it really, it's what allows you to go to work. It gets you to school, wherever you need to go. I went from the worst condition and trying to avoid being in a wheelchair to being in absolutely the best shape of my life and opting into the wheelchair at the same time. I think the hand cycling community is really amazing. Riding with all of these guys, it's almost like a built-in peer support group. We all learn from each other. Being in the Pittsburgh Marathon together is our favorite day. There was a time when we didn't have the Steelwheelers, and Brian and Lee and I were talking about putting the team together and how awesome it would be to have all the Pittsburgh Steelwheelers, all the local guys, in a shirt, as a team. And a couple of years ago, we were able to do that. It's like a dream come true. It's nice to know that one day that everybody will be there together riding. It was my hand cycle that really brought me out of my shell. It was my hand cycle that took me to all of these amazing places. It was my hand cycle that helped me make some of the best friends that I've ever had in my life. I used to tell these guys, there's no crying on a hand cycle. And now I just tell them, you can cry, just don't stop.
Go.
Go.